There's bits of everything. There's people that I find interesting. There's letters I've written or sketches I've made on top of toiles that need to change and fitting notes. So yeah, just a kind of overview. When I make clothes, I make them kind of on myself and I try them on and I make these shapes out of no real reason, just because that's what I like to do. And it's like kind of freezing that moment for people so they can make their own shapes and they can fit every body and they can fit every size and shape, and that's quite probably the way clothes should be, really. I chose rinse and repeat, I guess, because it's nods to like the whole cycle of fashion and the cycle of a creative process. It's kind of like those laundrettes that I used to grow up around, where everyone kind of congregated there, and there was a bit of a community around it as well, and I quite liked that people went to laundrettes. And it's a nice introduction to the practicalities of owning clothes and stuff. It's always been more of a kind of artists or designers or architects or people like that I've been really interested in, and I gain a lot by working with them. So working with these women who are kind of really powerful in really amazing positions and really supportive of different artists and designers is a constant source of inspiration, because you get conversations and feedback about what you're actually making. There used to be, probably still is, like generic school uniforms. It'd be like navy, red, green, whatever your school uniform was, and that kind of X stock has been kind of sitting around a warehouse destined for landfill. So they're all made from that X yarn that's re-knitted into these shapes, and then I've developed a way of cutting that we cut kind of circularly, so you don't waste any of the fabric around. That's why they're all kind of re-patchworked together, so every piece that's cut from the fabric is then stitched back into it. I guess form and shape I'm always fascinated by. I mean, I train myself a lot in pattern cutting, so I guess that's where I'm different from most designers, is that I do the actual cutting part as well, and there aren't really many designers that do that. Made sense to me. I mean, I was working at really big brands in different cities, and just seeing the amount of waste produced and how people protect this idea of luxury didn't seem like luxury to me. People don't want to buy as many clothes as they're producing. It's impossible. Like, there's just way too many clothes in the world. So stripping it back and I guess focusing more on a practice that I'm excited by. And then as well, from researching, like I've gone around southern India and northern India and all of these different recycling facilities, and just seeing the effect that fashion actually has on the world completely changes your perspective. Since I've done this, I've met loads of like artists, like famous artists who have Turner prizes and stuff, and I always think that my nan is actually the more genuine version of an artist. Seeing someone make something purely for enjoyment is always very honest and quite amazing. I was quite happy when it was the Museum of Modern Art New York bought pieces for their permanent collection. I thought that's quite good. That's quite cool, yeah. Oh, I like my studio, because there's a couple of us around that area now, and we all just kind of have cans in the studio and make a show of ourselves. It's nice. The fact that I worked on building sites for like 6 years before I started the fashion thing, and the other one is that I very nearly studied psychology, because I did loads of A-levels and was a complete nerd and did very well, so yeah, that's quite unusual. I don't know, just get on with it, I think, yeah.